All right, let's dive into something that might sound a little backwards at first. We're going to talk about how self-discipline is actually the path to true freedom. I know, it sounds like a total contradiction, right? We're always told that discipline is like a cage, something that restricts us. But what if it's not the cage? What if it's the key to the cage?
And this quote really gets to the heart of it. The popular idea is that the truly free person is the one who does whatever they want whenever they feel like it. But is that really freedom? Think about it for a second. If you're only acting on your immediate impulses, your moods, your cravings, who's really in charge? You're basically a slave to those things. Real freedom, true freedom, is being the one who calls the shots for your own life. And that control, it comes from discipline.
So, let's get on the same page about what self-discipline even is. It's not about having some magical, never-ending supply of motivation. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. It's the skill of doing what you know you should do, even when you really don't feel like it, because you're focused on a bigger goal. It's that voice in your head that says, yeah, I'm tired, but I'm still going to the gym because you made a promise to yourself about your health.
Okay, so how do you even start on this path to freedom? Where's the trailhead? Well, it all begins with taking a really honest look in the mirror. You can't build anything without first knowing exactly where you're starting from.
So I want you to ask yourself this question, but let's reframe it a bit. Don't think of discipline as some fixed part of your personality, like, oh, I'm just not a disciplined person. No way. Think of it like a muscle. And just like any muscle, it can be weak or it can be strong. So the real question is, right now, today, how strong is your discipline muscle? You got to know your current strength before you can start training, right?
All right, let's get real for a minute. And this is just for you, nobody else. Take a look at these questions. What time do you actually get out of bed? Not just when your alarm goes off. How much time, if you're being honest, just vanishes every day? And this one's a biggie. When you make a promise to yourself, how often do you follow through? Be brutally honest. Then, looking at all that, give yourself a score, 1 to 10. Where are you really at?
Now listen, whatever number you came up with, whatever your answers were, it's crucial that you don't beat yourself up about it. This isn't about making you feel bad, not at all. This is just data. It's your starting point on a map. That's it. It's the "You Are Here" sticker. And the cool thing about knowing where you are is that now you can start charting a course to anywhere you want to go.
Okay, we've got our baseline. Now it's time for the fun part, the training. So, if discipline is the goal, then willpower is the tool we use to get there. It's the sword we forge. And here's the best part. Willpower isn't something you're just born with. It is absolutely a skill. It's a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it.
So, how do we train this willpower muscle? The formula is actually super simple. It's pretty much the same way you'd approach a new workout at the gym. Step 1. Start small. Seriously, tiny. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Step 2. You have to act every single day. Consistency is king here. It's way more powerful than one huge effort once a month. And step 3, as you get stronger, you gradually increase the challenge. You add a little more weight to the bar.
So what does starting small actually look like? It could be something as simple as setting your alarm just 15 minutes earlier than you normally do. That's it. It's not intimidating, right? It's totally doable. But here's the magic. When you do that one small thing, you build momentum. Every time you follow through, you're proving to yourself, hey, I can do this. And that makes the next small win, and the one after that, so much easier.
But here's the secret that a lot of people miss. Willpower, just like any other muscle, gets tired. It runs out. If you're relying on pure brute force willpower all day long to make good choices, you're going to burn out. It's just not sustainable. So that brings us to the next level of the game, building systems. You want to create a life where being disciplined is the easy choice, the default path.
Just look at the difference here. A day without a plan? It's pure chaos. You're constantly reacting to whatever's thrown at you, putting out fires, and every little decision, what should I work on now, drains your mental battery. But a day that starts with a plan? That's a day of purpose. You already know what's important. Your energy isn't wasted on deciding, it's spent on doing, on actually making progress.
And look, an effective plan doesn't have to be complicated. Here's all you do. The night before, just dump everything you need to do onto a list. Then, and this is key, prioritize what actually matters. Then, literally block out time on your calendar for those big tasks. Oh, and schedule your breaks too. Rest isn't lazy, it's strategic. When you wake up, the battle is already won. You know exactly what to do.
And this goes beyond just your schedule.
You have to design your physical space for success. This is such a game changer. I mean, why would you spend all your precious willpower fighting the urge to eat junk food every single night? The easier, smarter move is to just not have it in your house in the first place. Make the good habits easy and the bad habits hard. Set yourself up to win.
All right, so you've got your starting point. You're training your willpower. You're building systems. You're on your way. But let's be real. You are going to have bad days. You're going to stumble. It is absolutely going to happen. And the real test isn't about never failing. It's about how you get back up when you do.
You know that feeling, right? Where you just feel completely stuck. You feel like nothing is working, and you just think, what's the point? We've all been there. It's a totally normal part of this whole process. The trick isn't to avoid feeling that way, but to understand what's really driving that feeling. And that brings us to this really interesting question. Why are we lazy sometimes? We tend to think of laziness as this huge character flaw, right? Like we're just bad or unmotivated. But what if that's not it at all? What if what we call laziness is actually something else in disguise? What if it's a shield?
A shield for our fears. Think about it. We procrastinate because we're afraid of making a mistake, or we're afraid of losing our freedom if we stick to a schedule. Sometimes we're afraid that we won't be as good as we used to be. Or maybe we're just terrified of disappointing ourselves again, or what other people might think. Laziness is often just our brain's way of protecting us from the potential pain of these fears.
And if that's the case, then the solution isn't to just try harder and force your way through it. That usually just makes it worse. The real answer is to first get curious. Understand which specific fear is stopping you. And second, and this is the big one, you have to start building your sense of self-worth on something other than your results. You have to value yourself for showing up and putting in the effort, whether you win or lose.
And that's really what it all comes down to. True freedom isn't about having no rules. It's about having the strength to choose your own rules, to set your own path, and to walk it. So I want to leave you with this one final thought. Forget about transforming your whole life tomorrow. Just for today, what is the one small, disciplined action you're going to take?